Welcome to the section on Wealth Create. Now, you might have heard the statistic because I had it on the homepage, but do you know the percentage of people that actually retire rich in this country at the age of 65? 1%. And that's not just in South Africa, that's in America, in England and Australia and many other first world countries. 94% of people are either poor, reliant on the government, or still working. And 5% of people are what they call financially independent. Now, financially independent is that if you earned 100 Rand on in your last month, as long as you get 75 Rand in retirement, they call you financially independent. But to be honest, you get 25% poorer and they call you financially independent. I don't believe that's a joke. The second part is that 49% of the world's wealth is actually held in property. That is something that when I read that 10 or 15 years ago, it really sparked my interest. My father also always wanted to be wealthy. He was an employee, he worked for one of the biggest listed companies here in South Africa as the financial director, but at the age of 50 he tried to go on his own and start a business. He took his pension and he put it in the stock market. And in 1995 he put 500,000 Rand into the stock market. And in 2005 he passed away and it was given back to my mother. And it was 490,000 Rand. It had not grown. It had actually gone down, and that was in capital amount. And so I realized from a very young age, from the books that I read, and the fact that 49% of the world's wealth was held in property, that property was where I wanted to create my wealth. Property and business was what I wanted to focus on. And this section is about property and how you can create wealth through property. I studied property at university. I studied property and construction management. I did my first development, funny enough, at the age of 12. I actually convinced my parents to let me extend our house and put an extra bedroom and a bathroom because I didn't want to share a bedroom with my brother anymore. I did my first development on my own at the age of 19 as a student, and I bought my first property on my own at the age of 22 here in South Africa. I bought my first property in London at the age of 24. And property has been very, very kind to me in terms of allowing me to have the life that I wanted. On the back of my property portfolio at the age of 26, I was able to resign from my job and start my own company. And ultimately today, at the age of 34, property has allowed me to live this life here in Cape Town with this magnificent view behind me. And as you can see, Table Mountain over my shoulder. And we get to live on the beach here in Cape Town. So that's what Wealth Migrate or Wealth Create is all about. Because you can create wealth through property. But you've got to know what you're doing. There's 7 skills that you need to know. There's 7 laws of property that you need to know. And the very first one is to invest in yourself. And so what this section of Wealth Create is all about is helping you invest in yourself. The first section is a webinar on how and why to buy South African property. You know, as I said to you, the market is in a tough time at the moment, but that doesn't mean that there's great opportunities out there. Right in the heart of the global financial crisis, my wife and I bought a house. We put down naught money. We actually got paid back 20,000 Rand. It is a cash flow positive property where the tenant pays more than the mortgage and all the expenses, and we get the difference. Something you'd be interested in? It's possible, trust me. Our house in London, we did exactly the same thing. Our first house we bought, we earned over £2,000 worth of passive income each and every month from that property. So some of the things that you need to know in terms of this section. The second part is how to buy a house. That's for entry-level people. It's all the terminology. How do you get a mortgage? What are transfer costs? What is gearing? What is leverage? You know, a lot of people say, oh, they're stupid questions and they're worried to ask them. The only person that's stupid if you don't ask questions is yourself, because property is a massive investment. They say in life that it's your biggest investment you'll ever make. I think that might be a choice choosing between that and the woman or the man that you're going to marry. But to be honest, it's massive. And so you've got to invest in yourself, which is law number 1. And as you would have seen on the homepage, there's actually a document on the 5 things you need to know before you invest in property. And a lot of those are covered in the how to buy a house or how to buy a home. And it teaches you literally how to actually get into the property market. The third one is how to buy on auction. At the moment, one of the laws is always buy from a motivated seller. We all know that there's a lot of repossessed properties coming on the market. We all know that there's great opportunities there. But I tell you what, there's a huge amount of pitfalls. I got involved in this over 2 years ago, and when I really got involved and I bought my first property, I realized there's a huge amount of pitfalls, and I've seen a lot of people lose a lot of money by doing the wrong things. And so we created a course on how to buy auction property, and we've got some very strategic partners. The biggest auction house in South Africa is Auction Alliance, and we've actually put this program together with them so that you can learn from the best in the market on how to get it and take advantage of the greatest opportunities in terms of where you actually are and what is actually happening. We then do a South African property overview, so it's everything that you need to know about South African property: tax, finances, the frequently asked questions, documents, opportunities, risks, research. It's everything that you need to know about South African property in terms of where it is and as an investment class and what it is that you're actually looking at. Then we've got a section there on properties that people have invested in. You know, we've helped over literally thousands of people invest in South African property, in all types of properties, and we've got examples of the type of properties and the type of locations that clients have actually invested in. And then we've also got opportunities. You know, at the end of the day, in the different markets, we've got best of breed partners that we work with, and if you're interested, we can put you in contact with them, because it's taken us over 15 years to build up this experience, to build up this knowledge, and if we can share it with you, then you'll be able to create wealth through property a lot quicker in terms of where you actually are. So that is what Wealth Create is all about. At the end of the day, it's about creating wealth. It's about taking advantage of the huge opportunities that exist here in South Africa. It's about educating you so that you can make the right decisions, so that you can make educated and informed decisions about your future, ultimately so that you can have the life that you dream of and create the destiny for you and your family. But from our perspective, by providing you with that education, most importantly, you can help manage the risks, you can calculate the returns, you can really create wealth through property, and most importantly, you can invest with confidence. Enjoy.